Good morning, students. Welcome to the lecture of Real Analysis 2. In the last lecture, we have seen an important definition regarding almost everywhere concept. Okay, what is almost everywhere? Whenever we say that a property is said to hold almost everywhere, it means that the set of points where it fails to hold is a set of major zero. Okay, but we know actually the set of major zero has the possibilities that this is a either empty set or countable set or finite set or singleton set, etc. Okay, means there are few points at which the property do not hold. Then we can say that the property is said to hold almost everywhere. The example we have discussed for the property almost everywhere, and we have seen an important proposition that if f is a measurable function and f equals to g almost everywhere, then prove that g is measurable. To prove this, with the help of this wonderful sketch, we have seen that the function g is going to be measurable if it is almost equivalent to a almost everywhere equal to a function g. Also, we have seen the second proposition that a function continuous function is defined on measurable set is measurable. These may be the questions for your objective main exam, right? No, continuous function defined on measurable set is measurable. Or they will ask you one more question: measurable function is always continuous, and the option may be only one true, only two true, right now? Both are true, both are false. You should be ready for to judge the statements, right? The proof of this also we have seen in detail. I am not going to see the proof. And we have noted that the converse of the statement is need not be true. That is, measurable function defined on measurable set need not be continuous. And for this, we have raised one example. Rather, we have given one counter example to justify this, right? And we have later written a proposition: a measurable function is almost continuous. Note says that measurable function need not be continuous always, but we were saying a measurable function is almost a continuous, almost or nearly. What is the meaning of this? The property is going to hold at more points and do not hold at some points, right now? This is what, okay, we have written this proposition, and this proposition we were going to accept without proof. Now, after this, a mathematician J.E. Littlewood has given three basic principles called as Littlewood's three principles. We will try to understand what are the Littlewood's three principles, right? Let me write.
Ma'am, notepad screen is not
Ma'am,
visible.
Not visible.
yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me stop sharing and let me start again. Now check, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good, good. Littlewood's three principles. Okay, who is this Littlewood? We will just try to know some points about this mathematician Littlewood. The full name or the name is J.E. Littlewood. Okay, he was a British mathematician. He was British mathematician, and the life tenure is 9 June 1885 to 6 September 1977, and the most of the work he has done on mathematical analysis, part, right? And then he has given three principles called as Littlewood's three principles depending on the measurable function. Okay, let me write the three principles. First principle he has given is every measurable set is nearly means what? Almost everywhere, right? Now, nearly or almost everywhere a finite union of finite union of open intervals. Finite union of open intervals. Number 2, every measurable function is nearly continuous function. What is the meaning of nearly? Almost everywhere a continuous function. Okay, and what's the third principle he stated? Every convergent sequence of measurable functions is nearly uniformly convergent or nearly uniform convergent. Nearly uniform convergent. First is every measurable set is nearly a finite union of open intervals. Every measurable function is nearly a continuous function. This second one we have stated in the last lecture itself. Na? A measurable function is almost a continuous function. Without proof we have stated this. Okay. Now to understand first, second and third principle, first we should understand these basic definitions. What is the meaning of convergence of sequence of functions and uniform convergence of sequence of functions? Okay, actually the first two principles we have stated already, therefore it remains to prove the third principle only. Therefore the focus is on the third principle, to prove every convergent sequence of measurable functions is nearly uniform convergent. Okay, now first let me write the definition for convergent sequence of functions. What is the convergent sequence of functions means? May I say this is actually a pointwise convergence? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Pointwise convergence. Can anyone tell me a definition of pointwise convergence of sequence of functions? Yes? You have studied this in your graduation studies, right now? Yes, anyone? A sequence of functions Fn defined on a set E, say, is said to converge. Is said to converge pointwise. See, actually this word itself tells us the meaning. Pointwise. To F, Eve. Yes. Pointwise. What does it mean? If I take one point of the domain and if I take the pointwise values of these sequence of functions, then this is going to converge to a function here. Correct now? What is the meaning? Actually, what I wanted to say is, whenever I am writing a sequence of function, then what is the sequence we were writing? This is like this, no? F1, F2, F3 and so on. Okay. And whatever is this limit point is a function here. The use of the word or the meaning of the word pointwise means what? First, we will find out the value of these sequence of functions at a particular point x of the domain. Say x in E I have selected. Then we were collecting the values first as f1x, f2x, f3x and so on. Then what it becomes? This sequence of function, now it becomes a sequence of real numbers, no? This is sequence of function. But what about this? For a point x in E, what are those values? f1x, f2x, f3x? Are they real numbers? Hello? Students,
Yes,
whether my
ma'am.
voice
Yes,
audible,
ma'am.
no? Therefore, this sequence of function reduces to sequence of real numbers if we take pointwise value, right now? And then what about the limit also? This becomes f of x. And if for every x in E, if this sequence of real numbers converges to this real number f of x, then we were saying that the sequence of function converges pointwise. Converges pointwise means now I'm going to write the exact definition in terms of limit or in terms of modulus. Then the total discussion depends on this point, no? And it is true for all the points in the domain also. For each point x in E, this should hold. Then only we were going to say this is going to have pointwise convergence. Therefore, we were saying the sequence of function converges pointwise to f. If what? Let me continue my statement. If for each x in E, we have what we have? Limit n tends to infinity, fn of x is equal to f of x. This is what in terms of limit. If I want to write in terms of epsilon delta, that is for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists. What there exists? A natural number n, we were saying, no. But this natural number is different for every number x. For every point x, no. That's why now what we were writing this as n of x. The stage depends on the point x. That's why we were writing n of x such that. What such that? Mod of fn of x minus f of x less than epsilon, and for all n greater equal by capital N. Actually, how this stage is going to occur, how this is less than epsilon, and how the stage is going to change, everything we have discussed at the starting lectures of Real Analysis 1. If you have some difficulties, you just please visit my YouTube channel and just see the lecture again, right? If there exists a neighborhood, there exists a stage n such that it depends on the point x, and this statement holds. Then we were saying this as pointwise convergence. Now, when this pointwise convergence becomes uniform convergence? Yes? Any idea? Students, you should speak something. Because unless you speak, I will not understand what extent you have a knowledge, right? Or shall I assume that you know everything and I'll go to my next point? I hope I am clearly audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we were saying a sequence of function converges uniformly to f. Uniformly I am saying, okay. This is actually called as a local, the words we were using, this is local convergence, because the convergence depends on a particular point. But now we were saying this is uniform convergence. That is, this is somewhat like global convergence, where this convergence should not depend on the point. Means it should be true for all the points. Regardless of the point, the convergence should hold. What I'm trying to say, regardless of the point, the convergence should hold. Means whatever this n we have stated here, this stage n depends actually on the point x. Therefore, if I remove this part, that the stage should not depend on the point x. It is true for all x in the domain. Then we say that this is going to say uniform convergence. Okay. Therefore, now let me write set to converge uniformly to f if for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists a natural number n such that for each x in E, now I am saying for each x in E, what we have? Fn of x minus f of x less than epsilon, and for all n greater than or equals to capital N. There is a slight change in both the definitions. Here we have stated for each x in E, this definition should hold. And that stage also depends on x. But here we were saying For every epsilon, the stage exists and is true for all x. Now the stage natural number should not depend on x. Correct now? N depends. Here I can write a note. N depends on epsilon only. And is independent of x in E. Correct now? That's why we were saying this is uniform convergence, not pointwise convergence. In pointwise convergence, this stage depends on this stage n depends on x, but in uniform convergence it should not. Okay. Now we were ready to deal with the third Littlewood's principle. What is this third Littlewood principle? Says that every convergent sequence of measurable function is nearly uniform convergence. Okay. Now to prove this, we were going to study one proposition. Okay. Let me write this proposition in detail. Actually, same, but we were writing in detail now. Okay. Let me write the proposition. What the proposition says that let E be a measurable set of finite measure and sequence Fn be a sequence of measurable functions. Define or on E. Let EF be real valued function such that for each x in E, see now I am saying for each x in E, we have Fn of x converges to f of x. What is the meaning of this statement? For each x in E, Fnx converges to f of x. Whether it means the sequence is pointwise convergence.
Yes, ma'am.
Then prove that given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0. There is a measurable set. Here I'll write for epsilon and delta greater than 0. There is a measurable set A contained in E with measure of A less than delta and a natural number n such that for all x not in A, for all x not in A and for all n greater equal by capital N mod of Fn of x minus f of x less than epsilon. Okay, therefore what is given to us? Pointwise convergence is given to us. And what is this actually? For all x not in A, there exists a stage such that this statement holds. Therefore, what is the meaning of this statement? This is uniformly convergent. For all x not in A means this is true on A complement, right now? Therefore, here the proposition says that pointwise convergence gives us the uniform convergent, but for a measurable set A contained in E, measure of A less than delta. For every delta positive, measure of A less than delta means what? Measure of A is 0, na? Therefore, may I say this uniform convergence is almost everywhere. This uniform convergence is almost everywhere. Let me stop for today. In the next lecture, we will see the detailed proof of this statement. Okay. Thank you for being with me for this today's lecture. If you have any difficulties, you can unmute yourself and ask. If not, let me stop for today. Thank you for being with me for this lecture.